At the Foot of the Cross is a production of CTNY, the Catholic Television Network of Youngstown. It is a reflection on the Gospels of the Sundays of Lent and Holy Week. Your program host is Father Jim Corda.
In the ancient world, it was generally believed that human suffering was a direct punishment from God for wrongdoing. This concept is reflected in our gospel reading for this fourth Sunday of Lent. Jesus and his disciples saw a man who had been born blind from birth. The disciples wondered whether the blindness was a result of the man's own sins or the sins of his parents. Jesus replied that it was neither one. Rather, Jesus said, it was to let God's work shine forth through him. If I understand that clearly, then Jesus is saying that human suffering can bring honor and glory to God. It seems strange, doesn't it? On the minds and in the hearts of people, human suffering either denies that God exists or else it dishonors God if he does exist. Keep in mind that Jesus never said that God caused the blindness. God does not arbitrarily impose suffering upon his people. So we're back to the basic question: how can human suffering bring honor and glory to God? When blindness is healed, when sickness is cured, when suffering is alleviated, surely that brings honor and glory to God. But what about those people who don't get well? What about those people who endure terrible pain and struggle and sickness and disease? Can this ongoing suffering in any way show forth the works of God? I believe it does. You see, this mystery of suffering, this thing that we all run from and seek to avoid, when handled well and courageously, can often bring out the best that is within us. I often wonder if John Milton could have written with such insight had he not been blind. Would Beethoven have composed so beautifully had he not been deaf? And look at the woman whose childhood illness caused both her sight and hearing. Helen Keller overcame such tremendous obstacles in the face of overwhelming odds. These people took their physical challenges and used them in ways that enrich the world. Surely that shows forth the works of God. As we stand at the foot of the cross, we should do everything in our power to prevent and alleviate human suffering. But if it comes in our lives or in the lives of those we love, we should have the courage and faith to use it for the greater glory of God.